The mind, it kind of tries to mislead the intellect. There's always a fight going on between these two things. And when the mind gets attached, the intellect becomes drowned. So this intellect has to be illumined with the proper knowledge. And it has to become resolute in that knowledge. तुम मेरे थे मेरे हो मेरे रहोगे बहकुन अब बहकाने से
तुम मेरे थे मेरे हो मेरे रहोगे बहकुना अब बहकाने से
तुम मेरे थे मेरे हो मेरे रहोगे बहकुन अब बहकाने से
तुम मेरे थे मेरे हो मेरे रहोगे बहकुना अब बहकाने से
जब समझ प्रेम में डूब गई तब क्या होगा समझाने से
जब समझ प्रेम में डूब गई तब क्या होगा समझाने से
जब समझ प्रेम में डूब गई तब क्या होगा समझाने से
जब समझ प्रेम में डूब गई तब क्या होगा समझाने से.
Discussing this kirtan yesterday, we all saw how in the first line Sri Maharaj Ji told Sri Krishna that you are mine. You were mine, you will be mine, and no matter what you do, there will be no change in this decision. Now he says, samajha has got drowned in love. Samajha is the intellect. In all the machinery that God has supplied to us in the human form, this intellect dominates and decides the direction of our life. The intellect decides values of things for us. If the intellect decides that social prestige is next to nothing, then the person runs in the world to gather it. At all times, this intellect is in play. But this intellect is so important. And that is why God also, when He meets the soul for the first time, He tests the intellect. He says, "Oh soul, what do you want?" So if the Guru has not solidified the intellect of the disciple says, "God, please give me rasgulla, peda." But that disciple whose intellect is firm says, "Oh God, I want nothing except your service." So this intellect has to be illumined with the proper knowledge. And it has to become resolute in that knowledge. Now what happens when the intellect, when the mind becomes attached. You see, the mind, it kind of tries to mislead the intellect. There's always a fight going on between these two things. The intellect says, you've eaten enough. Now, if you eat more, it will just add to your weight. The mind says, that's all right, but this cake and pastry will really give a lot of pleasure. So the intellect then says, all right, sanctions, never mind. So the intellect and mind are always fighting. And when the mind gets attached, the intellect becomes drowned. Like somebody's mind is attached to cigarettes. Now the intellect knows cigarette smoking is harmful. The pack out there says, the Surgeon General of America warns that cigarette smoking is injurious to health. And the smoker, he reads, The intellect refuses to take on this fight with the mind. It has got drowned in the attachment. Then it doesn't work. The drunk will say that I don't mind if my family gets troubled, I don't mind if my business gets ruined and if my liver gets damaged, but I need my bottle. Now in this case, Sri Maharaj Ji is saying the intellect has got drowned in love for God. That, oh Sri Krishna, my intellect has become drowned in your love. Now if anybody says anything, it's not going to make any difference. That happens to all of you when you start doing devotion in a little fast manner. Your friends and relatives are the first ones to oppose. What's going on? What do you mean what's going on? You asked me to go and listen to Swamiji's pravachan. That's all right, but I didn't ask you to do Radhe Radhe all day long. For 2 minutes every day, you light the agarbatti and rotate it like this, then close God and do your worldly things. So the worldly people, they tell you all this, but you yourself realize the intellect is drowned. If the whole world keeps on saying it's not going to make a difference. Now imagine if the intellect is drowned in divine love. This is preparatory devotion. At that stage of divine devotion, how deep it becomes. Somebody asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why do you do devotion? He said, it's my nature. That's it. Like it's my nature to breathe. Now somebody says, why do you first take the breath in, then you take it out, then again in, then again out? Either keep it inside or keep it outside. What will you say? It's my nature. If I don't do it, I'll get suffocated. Similarly, somebody says, if you do devotion, you will go to Narak, hell. You will say, well, even if I get Mahanarak, now it's become a nature, it cannot be changed. So that is what he is declaring out here, that my intellect has drowned in love. Then what happens? Let's proceed. तुमको ही तन मन धन अर्पण तुम ही एक मेरे जीवन धन
तुमको ही तन मन धन अर्पण तुम ही एक मेरे जीवन धन
तुमको ही तन मन धन अर्पण तुम ही एक मेरे जीवन धन
तुमको ही तन मन धन अर्पण तुम ही एक मेरे जीवन धन।
तुमको ही तन मन धन अर्पण तुम ही एक मेरे जीवन धन।
तुम